heading to our room. This is our room here. Number 1123. This is...
You might want to stay to Sunday or Monday morning now.
Yeah, we're leaving early though.
What's that? I
We're
know.
leaving early. So this is our stay for a couple nights. We just got off the cruise, the Sky Princess.
This is a nice way to wind down.
A very nice hotel.
Yeah.
We did not expect it to be this nice. When we got to the desk, they gave us like each 3 cans of pop to put in the...
And snacks.
10 bags of snacks, some
And-
candy, chips.
Coupons every day for a free beer,
Coupons for drinks.
wine, or Bahama Mama.
What's the name of this hotel?
At Embassy Suites at 1100 Southeast 17th Street in Fort Lauderdale.
So, Embassy Suites in
Recommend
Fort
it.
Lauderdale.
Thumbs up.
Yes. I mean, obviously, we got a really big room. I don't know what the smallest
Take a look
rooms
at
are.
this view.
We got a sink in our bedroom.
Oh my God.
John, hold on. I will
Cruise
get to...
ships.
So, this is our room. And then... Oh, bathroom's bigger than the ship, John. So, there's our bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the best part of this room. Right here.
Uh-huh.
This is our view. As you can see way over in the distance, we can see all the cruise ships going in and out. Beautiful. And tomorrow sometime if we want to go shopping, we're right here by the little mini strip mall here with all these little stores. Beautiful view. We are on the 11th floor.
There's 12 floors to this hotel.
Yeah, 12 floors on this hotel. We are on the 11th. So, beautiful.
And we got special guests coming later today.
Really is the old Seminole Indian capture techniques mimicked in a pit like this with a few stunts thrown in. Now, for those of you who may be familiar with a television show I had on Animal Planet, Gator Boys, or any one of the crocodile documentaries I filmed over the years, you may notice a different reaction between the gators and crocs you may have seen me catch on television and the gators you see in this pit. If I get this close to a wild alligator or crocodile, it's going to do one of two things, and I guarantee you, neither of which is this. He's going to either A, make some huge explosive move to attack me, but that's going to be out of self-defense. That's him thinking I'm the threat, I'm the predator. But more than likely, for that same reason, he'll make an equally explosive move, but only to escape. Either way, there'll be some massive explosion of energy. Massive explosion of energy. There it is. Wow. All right, these guys don't do a whole lot of that stuff. They don't do that because almost, every gator in this pit has been here long enough to realize that I am not going to hurt them. And once that kind of settles in, there is no real motivation to make these huge explosive movements they're so famous for. Every time you see a wild alligator, or a crocodile for that matter, making those explosive movements, it's absolutely exhausting for the animal. These guys are ectothermic or cold-blooded, so they really only have a handful of those moves and the bodies begin to build up with lactic acid and eventually they can barely move. So if these guys all know that the worst possible outcome that could ever happen is me sitting on their back over here for like 10 minutes, telling some really bad jokes, it's not worth fighting me all out for the next 15 minutes and then being totally exhausted for the next hour or two while the lactic acid slowly remetabolizes. Just not worth the trade-off. If there's one thing they're good at, besides ruining my life, it's conserving energy. Look at a good-sized gator like Hector, Jigsaw, Zeus, Debo, Darth Gator. These guys can easily go 4 or 5 months with no food at all. This is what they do for a living. And they're really, really good at it. It doesn't mean they love me and we're friends. And we take windy walks together at night. And trust me, Zeus doesn't love me. Not like he used to. No, I still remember a time when you and I would we used to sit and we would talk for hours. You know, now I feel like we don't even communicate. Look, even now, I'm trying to reach out and you withdraw. I said, I can't fix it if I don't know what's broken. Please say something. I'm giving up on you. You know what the really sad part is? Sad part is I have these conversations with Zeus, but nobody else is even here. Now again, they don't like me. They obviously don't. This is actually a lot like my parents' house around Christmas time. Like everybody just kind of tolerates me because they feel obligated. Now I do have a certain rotation system I use to try to make sure each gator only does one show throughout the day. It's actually Mr. Fahrenheit show. I'm going to ask you to walk out, but we don't have that kind of time, sorry. Now listen, I'm going to be honest, okay? This gator's been dead for 2 weeks. Hey, until he starts to stink, I'm going to keep using him. Playing dead is Fahrenheit's best trick. Come on, go to your spot. First is called walking dog. I'm dying to take him to South Beach and hit the boardwalk. Be good, son. I just want to find, you know that guy with the yellow Corvette, like 11 gold chains and a pit bull? Yeah, your dog can smell my dog. The guy, not the dog. Now, if you're a Seminole warrior, let's say, what are you doing, son? Here we go. Yeah, I'm not a piss dispenser. Get out of here. Listen, kid, I haven't eaten in 5 days. I'm this close to eating you. Get out. Go away. Go away. You've only been here for a week. You want to make 2 weeks? Listen now. Get out of here. Yeah, that's much better. I feel so comfortable now. This is my life. Now, if you're a Seminole warrior back in the 1800s catching alligators, you're doing that to feed your family, but you always want to catch them alive. Alligator meat spoils very quickly in the hot Florida sun. First thing you want to do, obviously, is not be jaw shut. A gator this size has over 2,000 pounds of crushing power per square inch in the jaws. That is enough to crush any bone in your body. That's Jon. Just kidding. Tying the 2 hooks by yourself can be a little challenging. You do need 2 hands to tie a good knot, and something has to hold the mouth closed while you're doing that. But you risk losing your fingers in the process. So the Seminoles came up with a technique they now refer to as bulldogging, holding the jaws closed with your chin and your chest. Move for your hands up, give it time to take out right over the rope and tie a knot. If you want to take a picture, wait till both arms go out to the side, maybe one arm goes out to the side. Or you see the blood pouring down my throat. It's usually when I tell the kids to just stay in school. Sorry, Zeus, maybe you should put a ring on it. Okay, take your pictures quickly, please. Take out a rope, couple of wraps, you tie a knot, and you have yourself a cotton-tied alligator. Now, judging by the spattering of golf claps, apparently most of you are not really impressed with me or the alligator right now. That's okay. I will try to redeem myself in a minute or two. In the meantime, we're going to touch on a few different parts of the alligator's anatomy. The eyes of an alligator are very well protected, very deep eye sockets. Anything that would threaten those eyes, they just drop to the bottom of the eye sockets on the way arm. Thick leathery eyelids come down to help protect them. He's got lower eyelids like you and I have. He also has that third eyelid called a nictitating membrane. A little transparent lens you may have just seen move from front to back to back to front. It acts to clean dust and debris away from the eyes. It also kind of acts like a pair of goggles for the alligator in the water. Behind the eyes, alligator's ears, little flaps right there. Even with these small ears, they still hear about as well as you and I on land. They also hear very well under the water. Between the ears, behind the eyes, located right about there, alligator's brain. Alligator's brain is about the size of my thumb. They say there's only one animal in the entire world that has a smaller brain to body size ratio. That, of course, is the alligator wrestler. I still don't get that joke. Bony plates you see all over their back, they're called scutes. They are solid bone osteoderms. They do 2 things for the alligator. Number 1, it is armor plating. It protects them from predators and other alligators during the territorial and mating disputes. They also act like little solar panels. When it's cold, these guys will lay out in the sun with that dark black skin. The sun beats down, heats up that skin, and each one of those scutes is covered with little blood vessels. That blood will heat up, circulate through the body, increasing the energy and metabolism. And you'll notice I said the skin was black and not green. Because almost every sign, almost every t-shirt, cartoon, painting, stuffed animal, rubber toy, high school, college mascot, you can see an alligator, almost always green. I'm not too smart, but that's not green, that's black. Now what separates alligator wrestling from alligator capturing are foolish things like we'll do right now. First trick, keep going. As soon as he sees her mouth open, he's going to think it's food time. First trick is called the Florida Smile, which is simply opening the alligator's mouth if he lets me. Get open your mouth, sweetheart. I don't know why that works, but it does. He's got 40 teeth on top and 40 teeth on the bottom. If you listen, I got enough problem with this guy over here. And if he tried to bite me right now, this might look exciting. Because it looks like I'm trying to keep my dog in a bathtub. Again, 40 teeth on top, 40 on the bottom. If you look in the back of his throat, it appears he has little to no throat opening. He's got an oversized paddle valve or glottis, which allows him to go underwater, capture food without drowning. He would usually then surface above the water to swallow that food. He likes to make it look dangerous. He's a bit of a showman. You do realize without me, you'd be a suitcase, right? Just follow the script, okay? Listen, we're pretty much 0 for 2 on applause right now. This does not represent our best work. This thing even on check 1, 2. I was like Dave Chappelle all morning. You guys roll into town like a funeral. You're probably the laughing on the inside kind of crowd. That's okay. I'll do this last trick and I'll let you guys go back to sleep. I make myself laugh if nobody else. Last trick's called the face off because if by chance I do mess up, yeah. And listen, this will also going to show you exactly what a bachelor's degree in psychology is now worth. From the University of Massachusetts, anyway. My parents wasted a lot of money on college. They don't really appreciate the fact that I made bad jokes about it in an alligator. 54 years old and my dad's still telling me to give him his money back. Yeah. Trust me, that would never happen. Last trick, don't do those stuff. We almost made it. The drugs are wearing off. Hey, that suitcase thing can still happen, my friend. Listen, I make one phone call, you're full of zippers. I can have you in checked baggage by next Thursday. That's a joke, you know already. Stop messing around. This is your fault. You're getting to work this year. That's enough of that stuff. You know, if the alligator, best part of the show for me, Fahrenheit too. Ooh, I like the way you walk, though. Now I know that must be jelly, because jam don't shake like that. It's amazing how fast they move, isn't it? Wow. See, now you can fully appreciate why you have to run zigzag. Yeah, because otherwise they would never catch you. They started that whole thing. You ever heard of that? Just an alligator run zigzag. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my entire life. And that's not your fault. They've been pushing that on students and tourists down here for 50 years. Don't run zigzag, just run. Listen, if you're going to do anything, you trick the kids and you walk away with dignity. Not your own kids if you can help it. Listen, but if it comes down to it, they're smaller and faster than we are. They got a much better chance. That kid's so hopped up on Mountain Dew and Skittles right now, that gator has no chance. That kid will be doing that reverse matrix flip where he's running upside down. Gator's like, oh crap, it's on Skittles. Nobody got time for that. You have a question?
Yeah, how fast are they?
Right now. Top speed about 10 miles an hour. And it's near the fence. And it needs 8 hours of sleep and a bowl of Wheaties. And I know they don't sleep before somebody corrects me with a joke.
How long can they run that fast?
From here to the fence.
Really?
Maybe. And that would be a female guarding a nest. No one's ever that hungry. And they just don't chase me. Whatever age I caught him at. I just got him less than a week ago. He's been here like 6 days. So that's why he's walking over. He just figured the whole free food thing out. He just doesn't know that I have to go get it. He thinks I'm just going to produce it or he's going to take it from me. If he grabbed my hand, he would rip it off in 2 seconds. He doesn't know. He's working this whole like, okay, you're that and that's food. Got it. Take them off. About these alligators I use in my gator shows. All the gators you see in this pit are what's known as nuisance alligators, especially you. That means they all came from somebody's backyard, pond, canal, swimming pool, came off a golf course, ate the neighbor's dog, something like that. If you have a nuisance alligator, a trapper is usually called out. Hopefully for you and your pets, he catches, removes the alligator. Doesn't matter if that alligator is 3 feet or 13 feet. It takes them 5 minutes or 5 weeks. They charge you the same price every time, and that price is nothing. Alligator removal is absolutely free in the state of Florida. Got a raccoon in the attic, about $400. It's an 11-foot alligator in the backyard killing grandma, but don't worry, that's free. I'm not a pest dispenser. Listen, I'm not your sugar daddy. I know you think everything's food. Get a picture, they won't know how slow it was. I didn't call you. I did not call you. Listen to Tonya. I ain't scared of you, princess. I brought you in this pit. I'll take you out. You, sir, are adorable. No, he's gonna do that the whole day. Literally, he sees me, walks over like, that's the guy with the food. Keep it up, you're doing the show. He's never done a show. He will feel completely betrayed the first time I jump on his back. Then when he realizes nothing bad happens, he's like, no, that's fine, just keep feeding. Now, if you have a nuisance alligator, traffic gets called out. Hopefully, if you and your pets catches and lose the alligator. Doesn't matter if it's 3 feet or 13 feet. 5 minutes or 5 weeks charges you nothing. Trapper doesn't charge anything because the alligator's the payment. Trapper gets to keep the alligator, which he takes to a processing plant where they will kill it. And he then gets paid for the valuable meat and hide. That's where you get alligator boots, belts, handbags, wallets, all that kind of stuff. The state of Florida kills about 8,000 nuisance alligators every single year. And usually, it's just because they swam through somebody's backyard canal a couple of times. State of Florida is also pretty smart. They save a tremendous amount of money, but more importantly for them, they save liability by not hiring and paying a trapper. Just let them keep and harvest the animal. That way, every time a trapper's arm gets ripped off, there's no workman's compensation to worry about, no disability. They just scratch another name off a list and they get a new trapper. Now, the lucky ones, alligators that is, I would buy off those trappers or I trap myself. I am a licensed trapper here in the state of Florida. And yes, that was my mother's dream for me. The day that I was born in Massachusetts. Very much was not. I'm one of them, probably the only committed non-kill trapper in the whole state. There's not too many non-kill trappers in the state because, quite frankly, not many people are dumb enough to work 30 to 60 hours a week for free. Especially trying to save an animal that would love to rip your face off that first time that you meet them. Now, when I get a gator, they will generally come here overnight and then get relocated to Wildlife Sanctuary down in Homestead. And they can never truly go back to the wild. Any nuisance alligator that exceeds 4 feet in length, according to Florida state law, must be kept in captivity or be destroyed. Only 2 options. They tried to relocate these guys in the wild years ago, way back when they were endangered. Back then, if a gator ate your dog, they put them 50 miles out in the Everglades. 2 months later, your new puppy would vanish. Same gator found his way home. They'd relocate him a second time to an even more remote location. 4 or 5 months later, you turn around somehow, some way, he's back in the house and only. My sister had a boyfriend like that one time. No, trust me, him I got rid of. Thanks, guys. You go ahead, laugh. Make it seem like that didn't really happen. You know, you guys are adorable. Now, what we do in this pit is alligator wrestling kind of. There's 3 guys, 1 girl, that actually volunteer their time here to do these shows. We're not employees of the park, and that is due to liability again, same as a trapper. Apparently, all lawyers think alligators are absolutely ferocious. Therefore, the only money we do take in, believe it or not, does come solely through the donation basket. You see down the end. On the 2 days a week that I'm here, the money goes to the alligators. And not directly, because I tried that, and they blow it all on gamble and booze. Now, that's why half of you are in Florida right now. That's the Hard Rock crew right there. Now we kind of have this fiduciary relationship where I use it to help pay for their food, the vet bills, buying the gators off the other trappers, enclosures for sick animals, equipment to get these guys. That is what essentially funds the whole rescue.
May I ask what your name is? Nick. Nick, may I call you Captain Nick?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, one time for Captain Nick, everybody. Come on. Before we get out of here, Captain Nick needs to be sworn in. Now this is just a moment, but I need everyone's cooperation for this mission.
Once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Everglades Holiday Park. Everglades Holiday Park is the beautiful Florida Everglades. And we are home of the Gator Boys! Ladies and gentlemen, your adventure into the Florida Everglades begins right now with Captain Dylan. And Captain Nick! And since you guys are on board right now with Captain Dylan and Captain Nick, you know you're in good hands. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy your ride. The Everglades, since 2011. So I can tell you firsthand that when you work for one company for over 10 years, you start learning things you can and cannot get away with. I should also mention that Everglades Holiday Park is a Broward County park. Broward County has a lot of rules for operating these vessels. One of their main rules out here is for your safety. That is that they do not want us to get too close to wildlife. They actually want these boats to stay about 15 feet away from all wildlife. That includes alligators, snakes, turtles, birds, and iguanas. 15 feet away. But that's not going to happen today, folks! Because you guys are on board with Captain Dylan and Captain Nick right now. And that means that you're going to get as close as possible to as much wildlife as we find. And to find you as much wildlife as I like, we have to travel deep into the Everglades. Right now, I'm going to take you on a speed trail. This boat we're sitting on is called Sundance. Sundance is powered by 720 horsepowers. That means right now we may reach speeds up to 50 miles per hour. So ladies and gentlemen, please use this time and secure any and all items, especially your hats, glasses, cell phones, cameras, and your loved ones. And as a bonus today, immediately following the first speed trail, Captain Nick will hand out some drinks and snacks for everybody. Thank enjoy that ride? Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now as soon as we come off that speed trail, we're going to enter a highly populated area for wildlife. The group of trees that are currently located on the right side of our boat is an area that we call Vulture Island. Locals call this area Vulture Island because it is home to many different types of birds, but mainly populated by vultures. As we pass by Vulture Island and you look in these trees, you may see the American black vulture. The American black vulture is the bird that has a gray, featherless head and black body. You may also see the turkey vulture. The turkey vulture will have a red, featherless head and brown body. All vultures are considered scavengers because these birds feed off everything from dead animals in the area to garbage. Okay, there's an American black vulture currently located on your left in that tree right there. The state of Florida has one of the largest populations of vultures in the United States. If we return back here to Vulture Island at sundown, you would spot about 500 vultures covering this entire area. Some other birds that are commonly found here at Vulture Island may also include the white ibis, the red-shouldered hawk, the great egret, the great blue heron, and the osprey. Throughout the rest of our tour, I will continue to keep my eyes open for some of these other birds. But for now, this area is the Vulture Island. The Florida Everglades are 100 miles long and 50 miles wide. It is filled with many different species and animals. And when most people think of the Florida Everglades, they think it's a swamp. Truth, they would be wrong. Because the Florida Everglades are not a swamp. It is actually a river. Cattail grass was put out here to be used as a filtration system. Water management uses this cattail grass to absorb any impurities in the water, such as any toxins that run off of local golf courses, lakes, and canals that connect to the Florida Everglades. The Florida Everglades, because the U.S. government wanted to use this land to build houses and plant crops. But here in South Florida, with all the persistent rainfall we have, eventually the whole land filled up with water, making this large area we know as the Florida Everglades. There were 1,800 miles of canals dug for this area. The canal we're traveling in right now can reach water levels up to 20 feet deep. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, look. If you begin looking at the left side of our boat right now, you look down that canal. An alligator that is up ahead of us swimming in the middle of that water. At this time, I will ask everyone on board to please begin to get your cameras ready and keep all body parts and objects inside the boat. Thank you.